Hello, baseball fans. Thank you for joining us for another episode of 6 Inning Stretch, coming to you from the Sports Interaction Studio. I'm Lindsay Dunn. He's Whit Merrifield, and this is the man, the myth, the legend that you've been asking me over and over again since we launched this show to get him on, Joey Loperfido. Thank you for joining us today, where I was definitely not late. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, it's been a moment since we've all talked to you, but I want to start off with something that recently happened. Hey, the Eagles lost. How you feeling?
It's tough. I was at the game. I was sitting with my buddies right where they run out of the tunnel, so we had a good view where we were all amped up. And it's tough. I mean, I'm a diehard Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in that stadium for some big wins and some tough losses, and that was definitely a tough loss. So I've listened to Landslide a couple times by Fleetwood Mac in the morning. A lot of Fleetwood Mac, some sad songs. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I'm just sad I don't get to watch them anymore on Sundays. That's like one of my favorite things to do. So
what happened this year?
I think a lot of things. I think anytime you win the Super Bowl, you know, you're going to have a tough schedule. So they played some good teams. I think the offensive line, a couple injuries. They weren't playing at like their usual elite level. But to me, I think just kind of the play calling and the offensive game plan just kind of stalled out. So they lost a game. They gave up a big lead against the Cowboys. Then they lost to the Bears, and then they lost to the Chargers. And when those three losses happened, I just kind of remember thinking like their shot to get the 1 seed and get the bye for the playoffs is probably gone. And they just, I don't know, they never really pieced it together. But good young defense, definitely some talented players on offense. I think there might be some coaching changes on the offensive side of the ball here soon, and they'll get things back rolling.
So that was a very calm Philly answer. Now give me the answer as if you're calling into a Philly radio station. I've heard those calls.
Yeah, I mean, I live and die on every play. I listen to that radio station. I was listening to it on the train ride home from the game. I tried to call in, but the line was busy, obviously. I'll say this. Your window in the NFL, your Super Bowl windows are delicate things. And when you have championship level talent, a championship defense, and, you know, what is definitely a championship roster, and you waste a playoff year like that because the offensive game plan wasn't what it should be, that's just unacceptable. That's like an organizational failure from the top down. So to me, the writing was on the wall all season. The inconsistencies with the offense, the inability to get people in space, and like the good, like all pro talents that you have on the offensive side of the ball, your inability to get them the ball, that's a problem. So the writing was on the wall since week 4, and they never adjusted, and that's an early exit in the playoffs.
We need a Joey Ernie Eagles Bills podcast.
Oh my God, yes.
Shop. Joey's in it. I can see the passion. I love it.
I know, the passion. Well, the thing is for both of you, because both of your guys' teams lost this weekend, is there a team now that you're rooting for, or you just don't give a...
No.
I thought...
The Bills won there. Yeah.
No, but I meant you, Whit. Your team.
I have a team?
And who's your team?
I don't have an NFL team. I grew up in the college sports world, and I lived
Last week, I swear you said that you're looking at the Panthers.
Oh, I said I'll cheer for them because they're down the road. Doesn't mean I'm a Panther.
Okay, anyways, we're done with you. Joey, do you look at another team now potentially cheering for, or are you just, this is so heartbreaking you don't give a crap about anything till next season?
Yeah, I don't really care anymore. I'll start diving into like the NFL combine, the NFL draft, see who the Eagles might take. I'll move on to next year. We got some cap issues that we got to figure out, so I'm already on next year.
That's how you can feel the true fandom with Joey, because I feel the same way about my Gamecocks, is that Joey, the more Joey dives into it and the more he knows about it, the more he feels like he can instill knowledge into the Eagles by being a true fan. And that's
I've sent emails. I've sent emails about like guys I'd watch in tape and just be like, hey, look, I think that like this is kind of who you want to go after in the draft. I would make like an Excel spreadsheet of who I think they should get. And one year I literally said like get Devontae Smith and then like stack Landon Dickerson like next round, and they did it. And I was like, wow, So, I mean, I've given my parents, when I was in high school, PowerPoint presentations on like why it would be a smart investment for our family to buy Eagles season ticket licenses. I mean, I've done it all. I gave a full blown presentation, and I was right. I mean, they won the Super Bowl in 2017. A couple of years after I gave the presentation, my parents were not eager to spend like thousands of dollars on the seat licenses. I get it. They did go up in value, so maybe I was onto something.
I
Beautiful.
love this so much. With that research and like the charts that you're making, how much of that were you able to use when you were co-GM of a fantasy football team with Chris Bassett this year?
Fortunately, I was not with Chris Bassett. That guy would be
Chris.
a nightmare to manage.
Yeah.
No, he would be a nightmare to manage a fantasy football team with. That was Davis. I was with Spencer Horowitz last year.
Yeah.
We lost to Eric Swanson in the championship. And this year, from early on in spring training, Dalton Varsho sought out like a young, talented mind of my own to be his co-manager. So Varsh and I were together this year. We unfortunately lost in the semifinals to Max Scherzer. And we ended up getting third place. So, I mean, my first 2 years in the league, a second place and a third place finish. It's not a championship, but I think it's a lot to build on.
Are you able to compartmentalize your fandom? Like Dalton, I know he had a hard time, getting rid of the Packer players when the Packer player was there available. Are you able to do that when it comes to fantasy, or are you guys heavy Eagles and heavy Packers on your team?
No, we weren't. We had Josh Jacobs on our team. We wanted like a good workhorse back. But we didn't really have any. We didn't have any. Maybe we picked up Tank Bigsby later in the year just on waivers as a backup, but we didn't really have too many Eagles. I'm able to compartmentalize it, but I just love the draft process. I live for like the day of the fantasy football draft. Awesome.
Yes.
So much fun.
I love this. And we could talk football the entire time, which I would be game for. And I know Whit would be. But what I'm not game for is the hate mail I'm going to get that we didn't ask any baseball questions. And what I'm going to do right now is Whit's least favorite part of the show is when it's called extra innings and we show some random videos that Whit didn't approve nor cares about if whoever's on the show. So get ready for extra innings. And they're not crazy.
Take up as much as your time as Tyler Heineman. Everybody's got families and lives. I won't bore you with him. He's making enough content on Instagram he's making more than enough for everybody to see and keep up to date with him. So
he's got we got him back online, Lindsay, because we talked to him about that. We were like, hey, you did your thing, and now where'd the Magic Man go? He said, well, I don't know if I can do that. It's security man, backup catcher, trying to find my way, and now he's back.
I just thought that was Tyler. I should have closed my eyes for a moment. Wow. I don't even know if we have these videos, but let's give it a go. Obviously, your time with Duke, bit of a legend. And I just want Whit to listen and watch this video. And it's more so we'll hear the play. And then at the end, I just want him to see a kind of magical moment that happens at home plate.
Get it over the porch in any park. This ball is socked to left field. Again going
that string bean.
Again, Loperfido. 2 for 2 with a pair of home runs.
Now wait for this, because for me, look at that lettuce and look at that flow.
All the rays.
What a start to the semis.
Just your hair.
I look malnourished. Malnourished.
Don't you miss the college energy?
Yeah, I mean, just running on like, I don't know, Jimmy John's and black coffee.
Yep. Every pitch was do or die. It was great.
It was awesome. I mean, I probably hit that ball 89 miles an hour. It soared out of the stadium.
Your model was epic.
I have big ties at Wake Forest with Wake Forest baseball, and there's no better place in the world to hit than at that stadium.
Oh yeah, I've said like a curse word to myself after a swing and like looked up and it's like going over the outfielder's head. And it's double.
So why? Let's ask you before we get into another video. Why? Tell us about Duke. Why'd you choose Duke to go play?
Honestly, it was my only offer that I ever got. So I knew I wanted to play college baseball. I didn't do like a ton of showcases growing up, and so like my high school baseball was okay. It was a good program, but not like a ton of exposure to colleges. But the travel team that I played for, Tri-State Arsenal, growing up,
Oh yeah,
we
they're
were
still around.
to like George. I think they are. I think it's different ownership and different management, but they would always play like a couple weeks down in Georgia or Florida, like Fort Myers or like that Lake Point facility. And so the summer after my sophomore year, I was down there for what might have been like a month straight. And like my parents like took shifts of like who would come down and hang out with me and I guess supervise me while I was playing. And yeah, Duke was my only offer. I took a visit to Clemson. They didn't actually offer me. I took a visit to the Naval Academy, which I was like, oh, I hope I hit a growth spurt and get better because this is like a big commitment if I go here. But yeah, the Duke coach called me after a game and said that they wanted to make me an offer. And I just remember like my mom and I went to Chick-fil-A and we're like fist pumping in the car. We were like, wow, like finally an offer. So it was awesome. I took a visit, immediately fell in love with the campus. The campus is beautiful. And Coach Pollard and every direction that the program was going in was, you know, what I felt like aligned with me and what I wanted to do and what I wanted my college experience to be. And yeah, had a great 4 years there. So many of my best friends are teammates from those teams and still in my life today. So it was an awesome run.
There's a joke about people like you in this part of the world where I'm at. Jersey people that go to Duke or that don't even go to Duke. So at least you got that going
people
for you.
Like
but
me,
Jersey,
Lindsay, what does that mean? People like me.
I know.
Jersey people that are Duke basketball, Alabama football, Cowboys, and Yankee fans. So I know you got some of those friends. I know you're not a Cowboy fan, and I know you're a Philly fan. But are you an Alabama football fan? That's the big question.
No, I'm not. I'm a Duke football fan. But believe it or not, Chris Bassett's a Duke basketball fan. We'll see how many times we can mention him on the show today. He loves Duke basketball.
Did you get into it when you were there?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, we couldn't go to the UNC game. You got to like legit camp out for a couple months to get those tickets in Kville. But pretty much every other game, I would always volunteer to like we had a recruit on campus or somebody on campus coming to take a tour or visit. I would take them around and that was kind of my way to get to some more basketball games. No, it was awesome. I mean, it's a super small Cameron Indoor is smaller than you would think. So, I mean, there's not a bad seat in the house and they had some really good teams while I was there. So it's awesome.
You know, you can go to Duke, Carolina. Hold on, Lindsay. One more. I need to tell Joey about this. You can go to Duke, Carolina now. All you got to do is call Dan Schulman.
Yeah, I saw him at MSG. So
yeah,
I was there. Duke plays a couple games there each year, and they were playing Kentucky. And it's funny watching him work and seeing him, you know, when you're not playing in the game, but that's a pro's pro. That guy's the man.
Exactly.
All right, you done now, Whit?
Well, I was just going to tell Joey, he got my brother and I into Duke, Carolina. He's got Bassett in Duke, Carolina. And so, Joey, you're up. You want it.
Yeah, he's legit.
We will cap now the Chris Bassett mentions now at 4. We will not mention him again, but obviously when he told people you're coming on the show is that everyone's like the roomies, Davis, you, blah, 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 blah. We have to play this clip because you commented on it on the Instagram, which made people go nuts. When we had Davis on the show, this is what he had to say about you and Ernie as a roommate, and we'd like your response. Who was more annoying as a roommate, Ernie or Joey when he was there?
They're like two different types of roommates. Ernie is like the messy one, like always has trash, like his laundry is just like hanging out. And Joey's like always coming into my room, just like, what are you doing? Like I'm playing video games. Like he's always kind of like not bothering me, but I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to sleep. And like he comes up into the bed and just like, get up. And then Ernie kind of sticks to himself in his room, like he'll play video games as well. But they're like two little different roommates, which I love. I mean, having them together, it's the best. And Joey can attest to that. Like if he ever sees this, he's gonna say, yeah. He calls me like, I remember I was in bed one time and like I didn't have any water. And he came in, he's like, oh, what's my otter doing, Oddie? And he gave me like a glass of water and I had to drink it. And Joey's just funny. Like we're just a great little trio that we have.
He's making me blush.
You seem like a nice. Yeah, he makes you seem like the best roommate. But can we also discuss how he interprets your voice? It goes up like a number of octaves.
Yeah, it's not that high. It's not that high. He'll play dead. He'll play dead, and it's bad. Like if we have to go somewhere, like if we're like going to dinner or
I don't know, like I'll be like, come on, Davis, and he'll like be laying in his bed with his eyes open, like not moving, like he's dead.
so it's fun. I mean, I do enjoy living with them.
It's a ton of fun. You only get so many years of your life where, you know, you're not living in like an actual house with your significant other and then like eventually like your children. You only get so many years of hanging out with the guys. So I guess, you know, I might be in the wrong for wanting to hang out with the guys. Ernie is a little messy.
Davis loads up the fridge with like ground beef and
A bunch of like gross tuna and all kinds of stuff. So
everybody's got their quirk, but no, it is a blast living with those guys.
I'm going to ask you about your roommates. I want to know your least favorite thing about Davis and Ernie. There's not much wrong with them, so I'm curious as someone that lives with them. Give me your least.
I would probably just say Ernie leaving like his DoorDash or like his Uber Eats bags. Like there would be like Chipotle or Old Stone in spring training. He eats a lot of Cold Stone. Just like that trash will pile up quick. My least favorite thing about Davis. I just like all the ground beef and
gross stuff in the fridge, like ground beef,
egg salad, and tuna can all like make a fridge smell so good. So that's probably it.
Can you tell Ernie to get his phone off Do Not Disturb? That's my least favorite thing about Ernie. Every time I go to text him, I see the little circle Do Not Disturb on the bottom.
Yeah, he's probably golfing or
I guess they can't go there right now.
Maybe he just
too cold.
doesn't want to talk to me.
Yeah, you're specifically blocked and muted on that. My real actual moment and serious question for you, Joey, is I remember in the ALCS, I think it was game 4, Tony Taters was taken off because he has back injury. You get the call up. I can't even remember if it was like the 9th or some ridiculous inning. You had to go up bat. Just what was the entire experience like of getting that call in the ALCS and then just being around the team for this season? Because you had some great moments and you're part of a hell of a ride.
It was awesome. Tony's
was having some issues with his back there at the end, and Sides kind of gave me a heads up of like, hey, like I think don't be surprised in the next day or so, like if you know you get activated and added to the roster. So the whole time I was, you know, through the division series and leading up LCS, I was just kind of trying to operate like I could go in and play and just keep yourself ready, sharp, like you know any other game day. And honestly, I felt like that kind of helped me offset the shorter off season is the fact that up until November 2nd or whenever our season ended, I was kind of normally, you know, the month of October for me, you know, you give yourself a little bit of a break from hitting and
lifting. So I was just trying to stay ready and
getting to go into a game and getting to be activated and really be a part of it when we won the pennant and won that series was awesome. I mean, I don't want to say a dream come true because the dream come true is, you know, winning the World Series. But I do think that playing in postseason baseball and getting to be a part of it and being there for the whole ride is a big part of why I wanted to play baseball as a kid. I grew up watching the Phillies make runs like that and watching it on TV with my friends and my parents and thinking, you know, that just looks so fun and looks like really like the pinnacle of, you know, the sport. In terms of competitiveness, and that really motivated me to want to do and want to pursue baseball.
This segment brought to you by the Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sportsbook. What do you have today?
So where it says I'm so hot on this, I don't know if I want to bet. We're gonna be a little cautious, and I might even actually try to fade myself a little bit. That's gambling talk, Lindsay. For bet, I'm gonna bet on something that I'm going to be cheering against because I know I'm going to probably lose the bet. I'm going to bet on what I don't want to happen. So we're going to be down in the 305 next week. That's Miami. Didn't know that. And watching the national championship game between Indiana and Miami. And instead of picking a team, because I will be cheering for Indiana, I I got a Kyle Schwarber jersey I'm going to be rocking. Shout out Schwarb. We are going to take the under at 48.5 points. Two good defenses. I think it'll be more of a defensive juggernaut than a defensive battle than people are expecting. So I'm going to take the under at 48.5. And since we're going to be taking that, we're going to be cheering for a lot of points. Because I know this is going to be an exciting game and it'll be up and down the field. A lot of points are going to be happening. But we're taking the under to solidify that there will be a lot of points scored. Does that make sense? That's how it works in my head.
Everything that you say makes sense all the time, Whit. We appreciate you. Just kidding on that part.
305, baby, 305.
305. Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino has you covered with pitch-by-pitch, live betting, and easy deposits and payouts. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Go to sportsinteraction.com/BJN to open an account. For Ontario residents only, and you must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly.
Talk to me about how you're dealing with the winter, with everything that's going on with the Jays, because it's an exciting time in Toronto coming off the World Series loss. A lot of momentum with Toronto. They're going out and spending money and going to get players. But at the same time, that starts taking away spots. I know that talking about Tucker is a big name on this, and your name has been mentioned as some people that someone that other teams want. And so there's been that conversation. Are you into those conversations? Are you aware of what people are saying, and how are you managing it?
I mean, it's definitely a different offseason from the length of it. You're normally done at the end of September. At least last season, we were done at the end of September. You know, you can kind of decompress, just kind of get going again into the next season. But I don't know. As far as what the team is trying to do, I think it's almost a win-win. You kind of do what you're supposed to do in the off season. You get your body in a good position. Swing wise, you make the adjustments that you want to make and build on what you did the previous year. I think no matter where you're playing, you're in a good spot and you're going to have a good opportunity. I think, playing in Toronto and being a part of that run is something I'll have with me for the rest of my life and the rest of my career. And I'm grateful to have experienced that. I think the support that we got all season last year in Toronto, and especially in the postseason, it means the world. I mean, you legitimately had the entire city and an entire country behind you supporting you, which is so much fun. And so for them to be in a win now mode with the support of, not just the entire fan base and country, but the support of the ownership, and everybody from the top down, it's awesome. Why would you not want to be in an organization that wants to get back to the World Series and get back and win it? So I think no matter what happens, whether I'm in Toronto next season or, somewhere else, if a trade happens or something, it's kind of out of your control. And you just want to be ready to, make the best of whatever opportunity you get.
That's that Duke PR training right there, Lindsay. What a great answer.
That was so good. I know. I kind of want to give you a round of applause. That was so good, buddy. I want to know the PR answer to when you get smoked in the knee with a 98-mile-per-hour ball. What words were coming out of your mouth and how you handled that moment? Because I still can't even look at that video of you.
It definitely hurt. I mean, it almost happens too fast for you to really have any reaction. I mean, guys throw pretty hard now. My mom and my girlfriend wish that I wore, a hand guard and an elbow guard, which I probably will have to do this year. Well, I don't know. I mean, I saw a fastball coming inside, and just the next thing I knew, it hooked me in the knee, and I was on the ground shoot. I always kind of give me and my one of my roommates in the offseason, Chad Stevens, he was with the Angels last year and trying to minor league deal with the Rockies. We always joke you can't go down in the box. If you are on your back in the batter's box or off your feet in the box, you have to come out of the game. And Ernie's pretty big. If you come out of the game, you're gonna hear from Ernie. I remember he was giving me crap that night in the locker room after the game. But me and Chad, our joke is you can't go down in the box. You cannot go down in the box. And I just my whole right leg went numb, and I went down in the box. So he texted me after the game, and we joked about it. But yeah, it hurt. There's a nerve. I mean, I'm happy I didn't hit like my kneecap bone or like the bone in your shin. But there's like a nerve kind of in between your knee and the side of your leg, and it hit that, and it just felt like the worst dead leg of all time. And it took me out pretty quick.
Yeah, there's certain places in the body when you get hit, there's not much you can do you can be as tough as you want, but if you can't feel it or can't put weight on it, ain't nothing you can do.
Yeah, no, I was happy that, we took x-rays right away and nothing was broken, and I think we had an off day, maybe a day or two after that, and I was good to go after that. So, dodged the bullet. Didn't really dodge a bullet, but dodged the bullet in injury sense.
Metaphorically.
I got every bit of the bullet.
Oh my God. One thing you both have in common is that you both are funny. Joey's like funnier than you, Whit. So I need to put that out there. Joey, you've been one of my favorite interviews throughout the day. No, seriously, I remember at the ALCS I went and talked to you, and you were talking about like you went to Nordstrom Rack, you got your fit that day, and you're just going.
I saw DeMarlo there. Yeah. He said he was looking for steals, not deals. I said, I don't even know what that means. He said, "Hey man, I'm looking for steals."
Ooh, that was good. I was impressed by it, but I know you have things you have to do in life aside from talk to us. We do ask fans every week to send us some questions, and so now it's time for Fans on Deck. And I don't know if you know this, but Whit was actually quoted in the New York Times. I don't know if Whit even knows this during the playoff run. Yeah, I know. He's wants to think he's big time, but it was about him thinking that Ernie looks like Aaron Boone. So, one, do you think that Ernie looks like? Oh, yeah,
1,000%. I think Aaron Boone might have at one point like acknowledged it too. I don't know if somebody asked him. I feel like I've seen a video of him saying like I can see the resemblance. They definitely look like each other.
But this leads to the first Fans on Deck question from Christine, who says, "Has anybody ever told you you look like a member of the Jonas Brothers?"
I got that. I think they performed. They did perform at one of the games. And I've gotten that. I've gotten that a couple times. Not like I sort of see. I mean, it's like a guy with brown hair and like, darker eyebrows and darker features. I don't get it crazy.
Maybe college Joey, but big league Joey is Jonas Brothers on steroids. You're way too jacked to be a Jonas Brother now.
Hey.
Wow, look at Whit being nice. Look at that. Raylan wants to know, what was your favorite memory this season?
Favorite memory of this season? I think it's hard to limit it to one. Definitely not like an on the field moment. I think maybe it is. Maybe like just when we beat the Mariners, I think just running onto the field, all those like dog pile celebration moments, all like the champagne pop, the whole playoff run, just getting to the field early and hanging out with all the guys in the clubhouse. That would probably be at 100%. Just all those moments kind of bottled up into one. Like when you think about the season, that's what comes to mind.
There are so many questions, but we took up too much time talking about how much the Eagles suck this year. So I'm just going to end it with Carly saying, how do you decide your walk-up song?
Ooh, Carly, good question. I think the walk-up song, some people have multiple, or some people change throughout the year. I've like rarely changed. I think it just has to kind of come to you. I've been on vacation and heard a song and been like, ooh, I think that could be it. But I don't know. It just kind of, it'll make itself apparent to you. It's almost like the wand in Harry Potter for me. Like I don't really, if you look, the more you look for it, the less likely you are to find it. It kind of chooses you. This year I went with One of These Nights. I love the Eagles. I've always loved their music. I've been to a couple shows with my friends. We were the youngest people there by far. So no, One of These Nights, it just kind of came to me, and I don't know. It's always tough of like, do you run it back or you just kind of let those memories be, what they are with that song? But again, I can't really search for it. It's gotta come to me. So we'll see.
Wow. So organic. I love that. Very interesting stuff. And I like the tequila song. Or what was yours, Whit? But yours, you were trying to be funny that one time.
Yeah. My best one was Puff Daddy. Can't do that no more.
Yikes! Thanks for bringing.
Yeah, that was, and then we transition, and then when things start going bad, you switch, and then you get in a dark place.
Yeah, one of these nights was great.
tequila.
If you don't hit well again, then one of these nights is like ruined, and you're like, damn, I tried to bring it back and work. So
Exactly. A lot of thought goes into these things, and a lot of them hit different in your head than they do on the field. A lot of them on the field think you're innocent, and then you get up you walk up, you're like, that's pretty cool. So a lot goes into it, guys. A lot goes into it.
Well, Joey, you're pretty cool. And I'd also like to say that there was at least 6, and I'm looking at them right now, DMs that was like, tell Joey I want to marry him. Ask him if he'll marry me. People, leave him alone. Be nice. This
He's
just
taken.
weird. Yeah, he had weird things out there. So I'm just going to say for the rest of the message.
I am taken. My lovely girlfriend, Faith. I'm taken.
Yeah, So leave him alone and just wish them good messages, and don't message our account how you want to marry Joey, because I'll be honest, it's a little weird and I'm throwing judgment. But Joey, we really appreciate your time, and I'm sorry I was late. Thank you again for making the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was fun. Me and Whit are going to continue our conversation over my golf swing tomorrow. I'm playing. I'm going to send them some video. We're getting ready for a tournament that Ernie thinks, so I got to get dialed.
We'll get you dialed in. Light work.
Mario Joseph Loperfido is a G. I love that he's on the show. We could have talked football hoops all day. I did want to go a little bit more into Duke basketball. We won't talk about Wake Forest right now. Some very close games, but I do want to talk about something that you were close to a lot, maybe hitting some home runs in Kansas City's ballpark, where they announced that they're switching the field dimensions. This was your home park for many, many years. Whit, what are your thoughts on hearing this?
I need to get adjusted to get on this high horse here.
Okay.
All right. So this is, I don't know if we've talked about it here before, but this is I like talking about this because it is a unique situation in baseball that doesn't happen in any other sport. And that is the baseball dimensions are different every single place you go play. And that doesn't happen anywhere else. Everywhere in basketball is the same. Football. I guess I would say the one difference may be in football, where if you're a quarterback and you're playing in some elements versus playing indoor, most of your games, there could be a little bit of variation there with how easy it is for you versus how easy it is for a dome guy. With baseball, you're looking at every single place you go, the dimensions are different. And why is that important? Well, when you play at a place like Kauffman Stadium, who are just announced bringing their fences in 10 feet and lowering them by 1.5 feet. The old K, the fences at the old K was probably pound for pound. And I know that there's some numbers out there that may disagree with this. Ask the players that played in it. They'll tell you the K was the hardest place to hit in baseball. The deepest park to hit is what I mean by that. So when you're playing at the K, and you hit a ball to, let's say, left center that is a double, yay, cool, or is a high fly ball to left center that gets caught at the wall, and then you go and you're watching MLB Network that night, and you see somebody playing for Boston or Chicago or Houston or LA, or, I mean, you can go on and on and on, and you see them hit a ball that's not nearly as good as you just hit one, that's a homer. It can start wearing you out. And so what I mean by this is there are times when you play at a deep park that you become devalued, because now the game is all about homers. So when you're not hitting as many homers as the guy that you're getting compared to, you're not viewed as the same level of player as this guy. Even though you just hit the same exact ball, but you're playing at a different park, so your ball turns into an out versus his ball turning into a homer. Yay for the homer. Boo, you suck. When you make an out, it's the exact same ball. So it's a dynamic that's not talked about a lot. And there's now some deep analytical stats about like expected slug and expected average, and that ball was projected to be a homer at 19 out of 30 parks, and all this stuff doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you either hit a homer or you didn't hit a homer, and those are the numbers that end up determining your value. And there's a lot more that goes into it. If you have confidence that you can hit a ball, you can kind of miss a ball to the opposite field and have it hit off the fence or be a homer, you don't have to, as we call it, and I'm not saying this in a nasty way, if you don't have to nut it to be a homer. then it gives you a confidence in the box that you might not have other places. If I hit that same ball in Kauffman Stadium and don't hit it perfectly, the right fielder is going to go catch it. If I hit that same ball in New York, it's going to be 4 rows deep. And so it's a whole thing, and there needs to be a way. I don't know if there ever will be, but there needs to be a way that you can value players and really dive into the value of that player, not necessarily because of sheer raw numbers, but because of taking into account the elements that they're playing in. So I said all that to give my hitters in Kansas City that are about to enjoy 10 less feet, a lower wall of just sheer bliss, looking out there knowing I can miss a ball a little bit and still hit a homer like everybody else in the league can do. Good for you guys. I'm happy for you. It's long overdue. Am I jealous? A little bit, maybe. Will I get some back pay for it? No, but my agent did text me, and we're going to try. Not really going to try, but that would be cool. With it. That's all I got. I think I covered all my bases there. I don't think there's anything else I have to say about it, but I will talk about it again in about a month because it seems like once a month I go on this rant.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing that in about a month. One thing I randomly want to bring up is your... What?
Sorry, I did forget one thing. One example. Because 2017, year I hit 19 home runs, was my second year in the league. I've always been looked at as this utility, scrappy, fastest white guy you've ever seen kind of player. And never really always he can hit the ball in the gap and whatever. And 19 homers in 2017 at Kauffman Stadium. But that's my home stadium. You can overlay your hits and where they landed, and you can put it into different stadiums. It was like Cincinnati, Houston. There were some others where it was instead of hitting 19, I'd have hit 30 plus homers, and then so I'm looked at in a whole different light if I go out there in 2017 and I hit 280 I steal 30 some 40 bases and I hit 30 to 35, 40 homers. Like I'm looked at totally different, and never got that chance, Lindsay. Now I'm sad.
I'm so sorry. The sad part is we still think you're pretty freaking cool. Come on, don't be a baby. I'm just kidding. Everyone loves you, Whit. Everyone thinks you're awesome. Yeah, we know you're big time, and we appreciate your time acknowledging us and giving us this time. But I want to talk about your Twitter profile. It's Iron Man. Why?
That's a layered question. Do you know that?
No.
So the stupid reason behind that is when you were in the minor leagues before all these new cushy rules came about, you were in a very dark mental place because it was a horrible way to live. It was late night buses in grungy hotels, living in dumps, getting paid zero money. It took me 3 years to make a comma in my paycheck, Lindsay. 3 years before I saw a comma in my paycheck. Tell me how you're supposed to live on that. So it's that's one. So we found joy in anything we could find. And so one day, me and 3 of my buddies went and watched The Avengers. And we thought it was an awesome movie. And this was back when the base hit celebration started. And so we assigned the 4 of us different characters to have the celebration. We had Captain America, we had the Hulk, we had Thor, and I was Iron Man. So that's how it started. And then get to the big leagues, and then I go on and break the Kansas City record for consecutive games played. And then there was a little Iron Man correlation to that. My little brother got me a little Iron Man Lego keychain for my backpack. And so that was one of the most things I'm most proud of is my durability, because it was always beaten in my head. Your best ability is your availability. And the fact that I got to go my entire career without spending a day on the injured list is something that I am extremely proud of. So there's your layered answer to that question.
You're a little Iron Man. No, I went and checked your social media to see what other random stuff since I last spoke to you, because sometimes you'll be beating up a storm. And I just was like, oh, I don't think I ever noticed that. But it's a nice little reason to have behind that. Iron Man Whit.
Yeah.
What I love.
If you want to get me on a Twitter rant, at me from the time of 11 to about 2. That's when I'm laying in bed with my daughter while she naps, bored out of my mind. So that's usually when I get going crazy on X, and hasn't happened in a while. I did today with the fence thing, but
I'm writing this down right now to make sure to tweet at you, and then you can unblock me. What I do love is someone thought that sometimes our show is staged. Like, clearly we don't plan anything. It's like, oh, the time we might have on, and the odd time I'll send you a question that I want to ask a player, and you tell me if it's too stupid or not. And so I'm like, great. Thank you so much for thinking that much effort is put into that, and that this is all staged, because this is all just an act and we're living in a simulation.
See, I saw a thing today where in August this year, we're going to lose gravity for 7 seconds. You know that?
What?
Yeah,
No, stop telling me stuff that I can't handle.
Sort of black hole collision in space, and it's going to make us lose gravity, and it's going to be the whole situation. So get ready for that.
Oh, God, on that depressing note, hey, Whit, what do you call a chicken that sees a piece of lettuce?
I don't know. Tell me.
Chicken sees a salad. Thank you for joining us on this episode of 6 Inning Stretch. We'll see you next week. Come on, that was funny. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more interviews, analysis, or Blue Jays news from the 6 Inning Stretch, make sure to hit the subscribe button below or watch more of our content over here.